The Los Angeles Rams today possibly made a final push to get the team that they need, the team that they feel is capable of winning a Super Bowl in what could possibly be the last season of Matthew Stafford as a quarterback in the NFL. It feels to me like this is the year where if they finally put everything together around Stafford with this new core that is highlighted by guys like Puka Nacua, now Myles Garrett on the defensive side of the ball, they feel like they are probably at the point of competing with the Seahawks and the rest of the teams in the NFC for the number one spot and winning another Super Bowl in LA. I feel like it really gets undershadowed last year's performance by this Los Angeles Rams team without a real true running game. This was a team who offensively was pretty close to unstoppable when they wanted to be, and defensively, they, even without Myles Garrett, where they had obviously Jared Verse, they had Byron Young, who took a massive step forward last year as the opposite edge rusher. You had your guys in the secondary like Cam Curl, like Cam Kitchens. Just there's names all over this team who last year they were young, they were getting better, but they already were really good. And now you get that true established best player, not only probably on the defensive side of the ball, probably the best player on the entire team now in Myles Garrett. He's a guy who won Defensive Player of the Year last year, set the sack record last year, and now he is actually going to be playing for a team that's not just in playoff contention, not just one of the good teams in the NFL. This is one of the top 5, maybe even top 4 teams in the NFL. And he's going to be a key piece in making them one of the best teams in the NFL going forward as well. He's not just a guy that's going to help out now. He's a guy that's going to be around for possibly a long time. His contract goes through 2030. He obviously signed the extension last year with Cleveland. And he has a no-trade clause with the Rams, so you probably expect him to be there through the end of his contract. And this is possibly Myles Garrett's real last run in the NFL. We could see him be a guy that's like an Aaron Donald, or one of these guys who has all of his personal accomplishments won. The last thing that they were really looking for was a Super Bowl ring, and that's, I think, why we saw Aaron Donald retire not too long after that Super Bowl wins, because he kind of had done everything that he needed to do. I think we could see a real similar path between Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald in terms of having that personal player success early on in your career, getting the team success late, and then, hanging it up after winning a Super Bowl. I don't think that's a tough way to go out at all. I think that's probably the dream for any NFL player, is to go out with a championship, having all of your personal accomplishments won already. That's a great way to have a career end. And I think LA presented the best possible chance for Myles Garrett to actually do that. He wasn't going to be able to go to a team like Seattle or another team in the NFC that's really close to winning because cap situations, or just it didn't seem like a good match. The LA Rams not only were the best fit in the NFC, they were probably the best fit in the NFL in general. They're a team that's used to trading first-round picks. They're used to having a group of not just veterans, but really good established players in the NFL. And again, Myles Garrett is probably the best of them that has come over to this team. You even can consider that with Myles Garrett and Trent McDuffie now added to this team, they're the most improved defense in the NFL from last year to this year, just looking at talent alone. But when you consider the fact that this was already a group that could be considered top 10 last year, and they are most improved, this is going to be one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're going to be a team that can dominate the pass rush. Like I said, Myles Garrett, a souped-up version of Jared Verse. You still have Byron Young on the outside. You still have a secondary that was really good last year before Trent McDuffie. And with Trent McDuffie now, they get even better. I think right now, if you had to just make me select who I think in the NFC is going to be representing that conference in the Super Bowl, it's got to be the Rams. And that's going to be my pick from now until probably at least mid-September when these teams actually are playing games. Because as they are constructed now, this is the team to beat. This is the team that, like I said, is going to defensively be able to shut teams down either through the air or on the ground. They're going to be a team offensively with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Devontae Adams. Again, a team who possibly on that side of the ball has players who are in their last year with the team. If they can go out on a Super Bowl victory like Matthew Stafford, like possibly Devontae Adams, possibly even Puka Nacua, who's in a contract year this year. That's another thing to consider for this team is there's a lot of really established players who are either in contract years or possibly just their last year in the NFL in general. And this is a group, a collection of guys that are really going to be trying to get their next contract or go out on top. This is a team that has a lot to play for personally in terms of team success. This is a team that has a lot to play for, and I think they're going to use that to their advantage. They have probably the best head coach in the NFL in Sean McVay. They have probably I would say, best front office and ownership group when it comes to taking chances through trades or taking chances in general. They're also probably set up for the future with Ty Simpson at quarterback. And the hope is that this is a guy who can win with the guys ahead of him. He's just going to be able to be around winning. And that's just a great situation to be around. It shows you what you want to achieve and what you want to strive for, I guess is what I'm saying, as a quarterback, not just in the NFL, but as a first-round pick, as a guy who's really going to be looked at as the future of that franchise. And if he's around winning early, it probably could go a long way in making him have a successful career once Matthew Stafford actually steps away. That's going to be it for the video today. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.